Okay, let me go live. Oh, I should probably change this to gallery view so it's not just me. That would be good. Okay, we are live. So,
Hello.
hello.
Of the Nothing Scares Us YouTube channel. This is our very first movie live stream. May be a disaster. You may never get to see it. Who knows? There's only one way to find out.
Who's to say? Who's to say? Have you seen this before, Michelle? I'm assuming yes.
I have seen this before.
How many times?
I also read the book when I was 7 years old. So
I have never read the book.
That's fun.
I've been denied the child.
Lucky you.
I've seen that.
You know, it's a rite of passage.
I was out here with my American Girl books. I didn't even know. I've seen it. I saw it in theaters, and then I think my brother and I watched it again before the second one came out. I've also seen part one of the original one, and I was so bored.
I've never seen it.
What?
I think my internet is cutting out.
No, I can. I just did.
I've actually never seen part 2. So if you guys are interested in
part 2 of this one or of the original? Oh no, she froze. Michelle, come back. You're good. Okay. So you haven't seen part 2 of this one or of the original?
Neither.
I started to watch part 2 of the original, and it was one of the most boring things ever. And I was like, I'm out. And then I saw part 2 of this, and just trigger warning to anyone interested. It starts with like a 10-minute hate crime scene. And I was like, wow, I don't feel like we needed it. I don't really get what it delivered. It was like, by the way, Pennywise also hates gay people.
He really does.
He sees everyone as equals. He will eat anyone. So honestly, progressive. Okay, I'm watching on Amazon, and I'm at like 1 second. And every time I try to start it over, it like doesn't let me pause.
Okay, let me get going, and once we're synced, we'll give the countdown for everybody who wants to watch along, because that's what we're doing here, if you hadn't guessed.
So that we don't get copyrighted by Warner Brothers. We don't own it.
Oh, I have an ad. Fun.
Okay, now when your ad's done.
Thanks, HBO.
This is like the struggle. We were trying to watch Harry Potter the other day, and like Bridget didn't want to pay for it. She wanted to watch it free on Peacock, but it came with like 20 commercials. We were like, no, pay for it. We were like, we're not pausing every time there's a commercial break. Because they like just took it off HBO Max, and they were like, hey, we now put it on Peacock, the streaming service no one has.
Are you at the Warner Brothers logo?
I sure am.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to count us in or me?
You should count us in. Your internet is more stable.
Nice. All right, folks, ready? When I say I'll do 1, 2, 3, play, we play on play. 1, 2, 3, play. You got a creepy kid singing?
Yeah, we love that.
That's my favorite things. And you know shit's gonna get fucked when a kid sings. That's when you're like, ooh. Rain, the balloon.
Iconic.
Ahead of its time.
Show something original.
Never been done before. I think I saw this like opening night, and people like flipped out at this original scene, since like in the original it's like not graphic at all because they didn't have the means. And
this opening scene is honestly one of the most like true to book scenes I've ever seen in a movie. Like this is exactly the beginning of the book.
I love that that's where we decide to be accurate. The Harry Potter movies, let's cut entire characters. A kid getting eaten, commit. Portray that accurately. I remember I just like wasn't, because I was thinking of how in the original, like, you know, they cut away, you don't really see it. And so when they showed it in this woman behind me was like, oh my God, they showed it. Like we were like, no one was ready. Oh my God.
Really setting the tone, you know?
The acting.
Child acting.
It was amazing. He has that kind of plot stutter where he only stutters when the plot requires it. He speaks perfectly fine unless someone needs to like make fun of him for having a stutter.
As you do.
He did it just then so we would know. They were like, that kid's different.
No, they did it so that it could be perfectly accurate to the book in only the opening scene.
The fact, like, this is such an 80s thing that, like, they're gonna let this kid go play alone in the rain in the street. Like,
can you imagine?
If we wanted to do that, my mom, first of all, would have been like, you're not playing in the street. Like, that would have been number one.
My mom probably would have let me, to be honest, but luckily we live in Arizona.
Yeah, so once a year.
Once a year it'll rain and I'll go outside and play in the street.
I'm in Maryland, so it rains a lot. We actually had a lot of flooding in the neighborhood I grew up in, so that would have been a main reason. She would have said no, we couldn't go. I mean, she might have let us go if it was all of us together, but yeah, if it was just one of us, there's no way she would have been like, it's fine.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Look how big that kid's room is. Oh yes, the basements without electricity, a staple.
One time I was watching some like K-pop video or something, and they were talking about like the house that they were staying in had a basement, and they called it the scary room from The Conjuring.
That's amazing. That's what I'm going to call basements from now on. We showed our dad The Conjuring whenever he was like, hey, can you get me a book of matches? My dad was like, they don't have a flashlight. I was like, that's what we said. I always wanted a basement as a kid. But because of how much it floods here on the Eastern Shore, almost nobody has basements.
Understandable. I've always had like a tiny attic above my bedroom, and it always makes my room so hot.
I'm in the attic right now.
Not that kind of attic.
I know.
You can fit a bed and a couch in your attic. I can't even fit myself in my attic. I
got my new like nifty air conditioner over there. It would get to like 100 degrees in this fucking room. Like halfway through the summer, I'd be like, guess I'm just gonna only exist downstairs until September.
I hope the people watching along don't mind our constant commentary.
Hope you guys didn't actually want to hear any of the dialogue. Because we've already seen it, we know. I hate almost all horror movie setups like this because they feel awkward. Like The Conjuring's one of the only movies where I don't feel like the family setup feels forced. Whereas in this, they're like they're brothers and they care about one another. Register that.
Ooh.
Like we didn't even.
How dare they care?
He didn't even need to go into the basement. Like it could have just started with him like giving him the boat, being like, I can't go out there.
But then it wouldn't be a perfect recreation of the book.
Maybe if their acting wasn't so painful. I also just can't imagine us ever wanting to do this as kids. Like, I'm gonna go.
You obviously didn't grow up in Arizona.
I mean, I think we played in the rain, but I don't think we would have been like, oh, I'm gonna go chase a piece of paper.
Every time it rains here, I'm just like, ooh, outside, rain, water, yes.
I remember we lived in Arizona for a few months when I was 10, and we had like the storm drain thing on the side of our house, and we would take like our boogie boards and like ride the rain. I don't know. We were
You lived in the middle of nowhere though, right? Not the city.
City, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a piece of paper. Like this is like so.
But his brother made it for him, Molly.
Put that glue stuff on it. I also like to think we wouldn't be this stupid. I would have been out right then. Right then, I would have been out.
Yeah, you would think.
Is Pennywise like able to bewitch kids to want to talk to him? Is that what it is?
Yeah, kind of.
I bet I would have had so much fun playing Pennywise. Like Bill Skarsgård like said it fucked him up. I would have been like, this is great.
I'm Pennywise from now until forever. Anybody needs a Pennywise, I'm there.
I'm here. I'm available. Next theater, but better. He drools so much in this movie.
Yeah.
Is he wearing fake teeth? That's probably why. Unless they like CGI'd his teeth that big.
That's probably a prosthetic. Why would they make him up all up with all that makeup without, and not bother with the teeth?
I read that that's like really when he like smiles, like Bill Skarsgård can actually just smile like that. It's like not really edited at all. You really just see a kid like that in the street and they're like, whatever.
Face down in the gutter.
You're like, I'm sure he's fine. I'm sorry. It's just the way he delivers. You smell the circus drum. I know this like really creeps a lot of people out, but I just think it's funny. I find all the Pennywise scenes really funny.
When my favorite Pennywise scene gets here, I'll let you know.
Is it with the ham? Because that's my
No.
Is it the fridge?
No, it's very stupid.
Okay. I like the fridge. That's probably my favorite. I will say what's about to happen is actually pretty scary, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like, I'm starting to get a little tense. I'm like, oh.
Here it comes.
He's about to not be funny anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that's a little menacing what he's doing now.
The thing is like, how else do you even play this character, though?
Oh, well, yeah, you have to be over the top or it's not really going to be scary when it needs to be.
Here we go.
It looks a little funny when it latches on, I gotta say. I think that's horrifying, the arm sliding away and then this. Oh, my God. That's a horrible way to go.
It really is.
Being eaten alive.
In a gutter, no less.
I'd probably like have a panic attack and pass out from the fear.
Oh yeah, as soon as the arm was gone, I'd be gone.
I'd be like, I'm out.
Yeah, like, no,
you'd
that's enough.
back out from the pain at some point. These are the things to think about.
He's young and sprightly. He's got too much adrenaline.
I know. It's like, if you're going to get eaten alive, you better hope it happens when you're older. It's the moral of the story. I love how much Stephen King committed to like so many aspects, like sewers. He was like, guess what? You know what happens a lot of me? It rains. So, sewers. Why they gotta kill it again? Just cause? Oh, they're butchers, right? I forgot. I wouldn't want to do that either. Is that a lamb? Is that why they're gonna?
Yeah, or a sheep or something.
But you don't eat sheep.
Maybe it's sick.
Because I know you eat lamb, but are those the same thing? Lamb just.
I couldn't tell you.
Lamb just a baby sheep. Because I know people say lamb chops. They don't say like sheep chop. Somebody watching this is like, what an idiot. I don't know my barnyard creatures very well.
Missing this dramatic speech for no reason.
I know. I was like, this is a weird place to put it. And they were like,
we just got here.
It's a metaphor because the people of Derry are all sheep. I think he's the best kid actor, the one playing Eddie. The Stranger Things.
Because he actually has the character.
The Stranger Things kid is okay, but I mean, he's from Stranger Things. Like, clearly, he's gonna know how to act.
And he also plays the same kind of character and everything.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the guy playing the main character, whose name is it Will? Is that his name? No.
Uh, the character or the
The
actor?
main character.
Billy, I think.
Billy, yeah. He's the worst kid actor in this, I think.
Well, good thing he doesn't have to do much.
He just has to stutter.
Yeah, occasionally.
Here comes Stephen King doesn't know how teenage girls work, because I cannot fathom this ever happening.
Yeah.
I mean, girls were mean and slut shaming when I was in high school too, but this wouldn't happen.
Mm.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Stephen King's like, I understand teenage girls.
Mm.
Everyone
They
does.
just get shit spilled on you all the time.
They throw tampons at each other.
Pour viscous liquids over your head.
That's such a waste. They just threw out all their school stuff.
Mm. I mean, yeah.
It's spending inside of your mother. I bet at the time, people were like, this is so diverse. There's a black kid, a Jewish kid. And by at the time, I mean when it was written, not 2017. Even 2017, they were like, whoa.
Peak of diversity.
And they were like, that kid stutters. That kid might be gay. Perhaps.
That's one thing you can always say about Stephen King. He may be problematic, but he does try to be diverse. Emphasis on try.
It's almost like in trying to be diverse, he becomes more he's like, look, I'm trying to represent everybody. And then it's like, and yet. I want to know if this was common back then, that like just like full blown like teenage boys like assaulting children.
It must have been because
And
Stephen King really.
it's everywhere.
I was talking to somebody last night about this, how like horror movie bullies are either like way over the top campy or like actual psychopaths. They're never just like normal bad people.
It's like when you watch a horror movie that takes place now, it doesn't really work to have bullies because like I don't know. I watched like American Horror Stories episode 1 recently and they had a very realistic like bully cyberbullying situation. He's been standing there for like 3 seconds, Beverly. Is he gonna ride his bike home with that?
I guess. Just put on the handlebars.
I definitely didn't. I mean, so you've read the books, you know how it ends. I definitely didn't see it coming when I saw part 2 that it would be them.
Mm.
I was like, oh, okay. I'm gonna be so hot in the next movie, don't even worry.
Could they get to play him?
Let me check. I don't remember. I don't think he was as famous as like some of the other people they got. They actually, I looked this up today. They asked the kid actors who they wish would play them in part 2.
Oh wow,
And
that's cool.
she, I forget her name, the actress playing Beverly right here, but she said Jessica Chastain, and that's who they got. And then the kid playing Billy said James McAvoy, and that's who they got. And I thought that was pretty cool. They got Jay Ryan to play him.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, he's been in The Furnace. Looks like that's pretty much it.
Right.
Stephen King has a really long cameo in the second movie, and it's hilarious. He like makes fun of himself in it.
We love to see it. Somebody's got
Oh,
to.
he's like, I read your book. You're terrible at endings. I love how the parents are like, can you let your brother's death go already? It's been like a month.
Get over it. You're bumming us out.
On, Jesus. We've
This
done
is
all
1989. People die all the time.
Especially kids.
Especially in this particular town.
Where us adults are bewitched to not pay attention to anything. This is how you help your kids with their trauma. Take this down before your mom sees that you care about your dead brother. My God.
You selfish brat.
Can you think about this family for 1 minute? Here comes the racism.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows there's like 10 black people in Derry, Maine.
Yeah, we had to punch all those boxes.
They all work in that one place.
They're all related to each other.
It's one family, actually. Makes it pretty rough.
This part is scary because it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. It takes you a second to realize what's going on. I like how we're very calmly like, this is scary. That's pretty horrifying right there. It reminds me of like when we watched Braid, and every time I got gross or whatever, we were just like, oh God.
I did not see that coming.
They're like, oh, that's crazy. Pennywise really be going the extra mile.
You really do. The performance, the artistry.
He's a performer. He's an entertainer. Were they really just about to like commit vehicular manslaughter? Like,
Apparently.
was that the plan? Does he look okay? You just saw him almost get run over.
I mean, they got racism and murder clowns. That ain't fair.
They're like, how dare you not be fluent in Hebrew? How old are these kids?
Stanley.
13?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Like 11 to 13.
Yeah, because like Ben's younger than them, right? I guess.
I think so, yeah. I don't remember. It's been a minute.
I don't know, because he says him and Beverly are in the same class. Maybe Beverly's dumb. He's a held back or something.
Don't slander my girl Beverly.
I love Beverly. I was bad at school. Look at me now.
Not knowing barnyard animals.
There was no class on that.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't like that painting hanging around.
Yeah, it's not the greatest.
It's not the best thing. That giant menorah on the back, so you know they're Jewish. Like, it's
As if
not
you couldn't,
Hanukkah right now, it's the summer. The set
as
dressers
if you,
are like, this is how we'll tell them this is a synagogue.
as if you couldn't guess from the yarmulke and
They're like, hey guys, Judaism.
he has to be 13, right? Because he's studying for his bar.
Yeah, that's why I was saying they're 13, because that's when you have a bar mitzvah. See, that would horrify me just because what the hell? That's
No,
not
where did you go?
that's not how paintings work.
This isn't Hogwarts.
I do think this part's pretty creepy because, like, what the hell? No.
I like that they all get to have a special thing.
He really took the time to cater to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. Like, he's not doing that for the other kids in this town. He really committed.
Like I said, the artistry, the showmanship.
The dedication. Billy's entire character is that he stutters. The Stranger Things kids characters, he makes like your mom's sex jokes. Eddie's an actual character.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why they made him the best actor.
Ben's character is that he's pudgy and likes Beverly. Beverly's character is that she's a girl and gets molested by her father, because that's how you make a girl character. Horrible trauma, and then be the only girl there. Done and done.
Obviously.
It's so easy to write women. You only need one, too, because then you cover everybody.
Mm-hmm. The fact that there's entirely too many characters in this like immediate cast of children, and then there's only one girl on top of it.
I know, like Stanley and Billy are like interchangeably the same character. Stanley's just like Jewish Billy. Like, you didn't need that many. You didn't need that many kids.
We could tell the same story with 4 or 5 kids. Like,
no, seriously, like there are plenty of movies with a lot of kids, like The Goonies or like the show Stranger Things, but like all the kids are really distinct.
Mm-hmm.
These kids all blend together. Honestly, though, this is a good poem. As the resident poet, that's a fire poem right there. And I've thought that every time. Is that poem in the book?
I don't remember.
Because it's good. If Stephen King wrote that, props. His personality is he reads books.
Yeah.
And he's pudgy.
And he likes Beverly. He's got 3 personality traits.
He had a diorama, so he knows things.
He's a fully rounded character.
I'd say Stanley is probably the least rounded. They're just like, he's Jewish. And then in part 2, it's like he killed himself. And it's like, okay. They're like, yeah, we didn't need him.
They're like, don't get attached to him. Don't even worry about it, fam.
And Eddie and the Stranger Things kid might be gay. What's the Stranger Things kid's character's name? I keep thinking Mike, but that's who he is in Stranger Things.
No, the black one is Mike.
I keep thinking the Stranger Things. Oh, I forgot all about the black kid being a part of this too. I forgot he wasn't just like doing his own thing.
He might as well have been.
This is too many people.
It is too many.
I love, I always say this, I love research scenes in horror movies. I love when whoever, it's not as fun now because they just get on the computer. I love when they go to the library or whatever and they get all the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that would creep me out. I'd just be like, oh, weird. I don't think I'd follow it.
Just be like, oh, somebody left their balloon.
I'd probably think it was weird it was moving like that. I don't know, everyone's just so curious in horror movies. I don't care. Like,
Mhm,
I'm busy doing my own thing.
mhm. I got places to places to go, people to see.
I have books to read. Is that an egg? I don't remember this part very well.
I think it like blows up or something.
They're Cadbury eggs. Pennywise is like, "You're fat." So
Num num.
also, like, the writing plays it up like he's so fat. Like, in part 2, they're like, "Oh my god." It's like he's not okay, he's not scrawny like the other guys.
He's like normal size.
It's like how in the Harry Potter movies, they're like, "Dudley is so fat." And it's like he looks normal. Also, like, a kid being fat is not a character plot, and everyone's always like, "Hey,
Mhm.
this kid."
And also, it's literally not a kid's responsibility. Like if they're
Also,
overweight.
like, kids just aren't as mean about that as adults.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, once you get to high school, sure, but, like, especially with boys, like, they're not gonna be as mean as, like, girls would. See, that might fuck me up. That's pretty creepy.
See, he handled it better than anybody else, though.
Well, yeah, what are you supposed to do? I'm sorry, the way it moves, it's, like, really funny to me. It's like it's like a little shimmy. And then it Pennywise is a comedian.
Hmm.
My favorite comedian.
He should do stand up.
He should That's what happens in part 2.
We fixed it.
Tune back in.
That's how you defeat him. You just put him on stage.
Oh, is this where they, like, carve a word into his chest? Yeah. Again, like, what the fuck? When did this happen? What happened when Stephen King went to high school? My god.
Wow. And again, entirely too many characters on the bad side too. Like, why do we need all these?
And again, like, that guy's pudgy. Like, so what is the joke here?
Do we really
Also
need like
also, like, why do they hate him? Like, just 'cause?
it would appear so?
I do find that really creepy how Pennywise, like, I don't know, just kids also didn't, like, physically beat each other up like this when I was in school. Like, if there was a
I mean,
fight, it was it's shit like this
they
did
did
not
it.
happen. That's so
I
fu
mean, nobody,
like, oh my
yeah,
god.
like nobody was gonna get carved up at my high school, but people
Yeah,
did get.
nobody was g
Get him, Ben.
Let's go, Ben, let's go, turn up. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
do we really need like all four of these like bully characters plus the clown and his entire like posse?
There's too much. There's just the whole cast, too big. Consolidate.
The book too much, the cast too
Could have
much.
had, like, on the good side, there could have been 3 boys in Beverly. And there could be, like, 2,
Mhm.
3 bullies here, maybe just 2. There's just so many. I mean, and if we consider, like, Georgie, who's already dead,
Yeah.
then there's all the mean girls in the beginning. It's just a lot, frankly. Like, in the Goonies, there's a lot of kids, but it's like, it's just the kids. Like, you're almost never following anyone else. And they, like,
Mhm.
slowly become a bigger group. They don't just, like, start out the gate, like, "Here's 10 children." They will
Well,
carry
yeah, that's how ensemble casts work. Is everybody has to have something to do. Steven.
It's like for giant chunks of the movie, he, like, forgot about other kids. Like Mike, he's not in, like, most of this movie, like,
I don't remember if he's in more of the book. I really don't think he is, to be honest. Which
I mean, he's, like, in part 2, he just is like, "Hey, guys, remember the clown?" And they're like,
yeah.
"No." And he's like, "Well, unfortunate, because guess what?" Like, wouldn't go in either. That's disgusting. A bunch of candy here. We went to the movies the other day, so I've leftover candy. We saw Space Jam. It was terrible.
Of course. Have you heard of a staph infection?
What?
Have you heard of a staph infection?
They think Georgie's just been like living in the sewers. Wow. The comedy.
You'll never outsell Pennywise.
I like just watching these movies. I can't, but like I can, but I'm like horrified to know that in the book these kids all fucked in a sewer. Like if that happened now, like if someone wrote that now, oh my god, book Twitter and book talk, they'd be done. The career over. Like
what gets me is that like he had every opportunity to be like, yeah, I regret writing that, but he stands firm.
Like, and there's so many times where he's like, yeah, I regret like the way I like did this or the way I like he talked about too how he felt like he didn't portray black people and like queer people well enough in it. But the kids fucking in a store is where he was like, no, that was a solid choice. Like,
that was necessary.
Like the times I use the N-word in my books, not good, shouldn't have done it. The kids fucking in a sewer, that was vital. Like,
I mean, not that I want to defend that scene, but I do have like I have some thoughts. We'll get into it in the podcast.
Okay. Yeah, because obviously I have considered just wanting to read it sometimes, like just to know what happened.
You would.
I don't think
you wouldn't want.
Also just like knowing, like even just like I don't know, being his wife and it's like your husband wrote a detailed sex scene between a bunch of 13-year-olds in a sewer of all places. Like if I was married to a writer,
He'd be nothing without his wife, to be fair. His wife is like,
is she weird?
I mean, I don't know, but like
I guess you'd have to be married to Stephen King. My writing teacher from college knew Stephen King because he would like come into this record shop where my writing teacher worked when he was in college. And he was like, yeah, he was weird. He said he came in every day and bought the same CD for like a year. And like, I forget what CD it was. I think it was like an AC/DC CD. I'll have to ask him next time I see him. I can't remember. And he said like one time he saw like Stephen coming in and he went and like got the CD, or I guess it was a record, because it was a record store. And he was like, my teacher held it up and was like, still? And Stephen King was like, yup. And then he said for Christmas, oh yeah, that's pretty gross. For Christmas, he gave them all $10 gift cards to Subway. And then he came in on Pearl Harbor Day, but he just leaned in the door and went, Happy Pearl Harbor Day, and then left. And that's what my writing teacher knows of Stephen King.
I idolize this man.
I know, like living the dream. I love when he like called J.K. Rowling out on like her transphobic bullshit, and then J.K. Rowling unfollowed him, and she deleted all her tweets praising his work. That is so funny to me when Pennywise moves. He's just like.
Oh my god.
This is so many children to keep track of, and we haven't even gotten to Mike yet.
Mm-hmm.
Or Beverly.
Yeah. Shut up, Eddie.
I'm Eddie, though. I'd be like, guys! Ben's like, can you shut the fuck up? What are your thoughts on Beverly being like molested by her father? Do you feel like it's necessary for the plot?
No, but also.
Me either. Wow, she's gonna start with tampons.
Old.
Bold move.
See, I wouldn't mind it as much if there was another girl character, but because she's the only one.
Yeah, that we just give her all the trauma.
Yeah.
Also, this is just like a cliche scene to show a girl like getting period products for the first time. Like Stephen King, how many times you gotta reference girls getting their period for the first time in your work? Because I feel like even once is a weird amount for a male writer.
Maybe his wife had a weird experience.
Well, because I like read or I heard rather on a podcast about the Carrie musical that like his wife consulted with him to write the book Carrie, so she must have really had something happen.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, Stephen King hated Carrie. He like threw it in the trash, and his wife made him like submit it to the publisher.
It was gonna be like a short story, and then he realized it needed to be a novel, and he was like, "I don't have the time for this, and it's too weird, and no one will like it." This is also just a weird choice, being like, "Hey, distraction, flirt with this old guy." Ew. Stephen King was like, "Fuck all men," and I can respect that. Stephen King's crazy. What a guy. My bifocals. Go get my bifocals. The shots like this are always so weird to me in this movie, where it's like we have to do the male gaze even when it's the fucking adolescent boys. Like
that's what does it for you, like the weird rat tail thing.
well, it's like obviously like fucking hair extensions because her hair was already short, like in a ponytail. She's really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I saw her in that Gretel and Hansel movie. Flipped the names because feminism. She was the movie was absolute trash, but she was very good.
Mm-hmm.
I bet these kids were like excited to get to deliver these lines.
You can tell Stranger Things kid was way too excited.
Yeah, well, because he plays like such a loser in Stranger Things.
Is that your favorite?
I ship it. Well, I mean, like they're canonically queer coded. The second movie like really leaned into it.
Mm-hmm. Stephen
King was like, I read an interview where he was like, "Yeah, I should have done a better job, but it was the '80s and fair." Like this, why do we need this? Like, no. The real horror of this movie is men.
Always.
Always. That's the real horror of every film. Ew, God, I hate it.
I mean, at least Stephen King knew.
He understood the assignment.
Also, the women in his books always get like the worst of everything.
Well, yeah, in part two, Beverly gets like abused by her husband.
Mm-hmm. It's like everything bad that could possibly happen.
It's to show you how strong and resilient women
are. Yeah, sure. I'm sure that was the thought.
This is also how filmmakers show women having growth, as they cut their hair aggressively.
Yeah, girl, you chop off those extensions. Rat tail no more. Clog your drain.
Get that lesbian haircut.
We love to see it.
Is this explained?
She's feeling herself.
Is this explained more in the book? Like, is she actually molested by her dad, or is he just that creepy?
No, she is.
Great. Love that. We really needed it. This is the scene where the male gaze makes me the most uncomfortable, is the way it films Beverly. I'm like, that actress is a minor when you made this. Like, also, do they not have swimsuits? Like, we have to do this. We have to do this in our tidy whities. Like,
I was watching Fear Street the other night with my friends, and they kept being like, "These are all children." Every time the sexy scenes came on.
At least they're like clearly like 17, 18 in those movies, you know? And the actors were all clearly like old enough. These are just actual children. Like, Did you like Fear Street?
Yeah, it was different than I thought it was. Also, like, nothing like the books.
Well, yeah, I looked it up, that they kind of just like took inspiration. Did you watch all three? Loved it. The third one was my favorite.
Same.
I would go 3, 1, 2. That's how I'd rank it.
Second one didn't hit.
It was fine. It just like it was trying
boring.
too hard to like do the genre to the point where it was just dumb. Sadie Sink was what saved it, because she's a gift.
I agree.
Always.
Again, with the Stranger Things, just bring in all the Stranger Things characters.
Just bring them in. Let them do horror from now on. Because they also had the girl in the beginning of that who played Robin. I don't know the actress's name.
All right.
This movie is like surprisingly lacking in Pennywise, you know? Like, there's so much of just showing these kids have a summer as opposed to like horror. This right here, I don't like this. I hate it. She really looks good with her hair like that, though.
She does.
I wish I looked that pretty when I was 13. Like, just looked that cool effortlessly. Like,
yeah, seriously. Mind your business, Richie.
So I just read books, you know? They're like, he read? What a loser.
I can read.
I can read. And Harry Potter, the second one, was like, I know you could read. She made it look that good with that aggressive blunt chop. The camera didn't show her really texturize it.
She's like, thank God my hair is curly.
Yeah, she did some shaping. I love the music to tell us this is important.
It is nice they didn't like crop out her stomach rolls or anything like that.
That they what?
That they didn't like crop out her stomach rolls or anything.
Yeah, she just like looks like a regular teenage girl. I can't imagine being a parent and going to like see your kid be in a movie like this, though. I always think that when I watch horror movies.
Especially when they're really, really little kids that you know aren't even allowed to watch the movie that they're in.
Yeah, like if you ever saw The Orphan, like, oh my god, that was creepy.
Mm-hmm. I think that's on the list. We'll get to it eventually.
I don't think it would scare me now, but I saw it when I was like 14. It made me cry.
I love that movie. Underrated.
And then that girl went on to be in the Hunger Games.
She did.
Yeah, she played one of the like District 1 tributes who like almost killed Katniss.
Wow.
Yeah, a career. They were like, and then like a whole Roanoke situation happened here.
Oh, weird.
Those subtle not. I love how the cinematography doesn't let you have a second to realize Pennywise is in these pictures. It's like, hey, do you see? It's crazy. Gay.
To be fair, I too like New Kids on the Block.
Well, and you're gay, to be fair. I love that this kid's just got like a true crime wall. And like what his parents are like, that's cute. Is this a bunch of missing posters? Oh, this is when like the plague person.
Gotta say, this hits different sitting in actual.
Yeah, no, it is different. Eddie's fears feel more valid now. This incredibly out of place house. It's the house from Monster House right here. I love how he doesn't like, he can't like wait till he gets past the house. He's like, well, the alarm's going off. Gotta take my pill right this second.
Mm-hmm. You know, gotta keep it consistent.
There's no consistency in how this movie is filmed or acted or written.
Mm-hmm. Just leave him be, boy.
Yeah, like you're obsessed with germs. You're gonna eat pills that fell on the ground. That is so gross. People always crawl like that in horror movies. Like, what? You can't get back up? What is this music? Like, just change to dubstep for no reason. This is an iconic shot. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
There's a reason this is the movie poster.
Amazing. Stunning.
Hell no to the no, no, no.
I love that Pennywise could kill these kids at any time, like he does the other kids, but he's like, you guys are special.
I like you guys.
I'm gonna craft an immersive fear experience for you guys.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, the artistry, the showmanship.
It's the fact that she assumes Billy wrote her this when Ben has been the one that is so obviously just like up her ass the whole time. Like,
pretty privilege. Pretty privilege.
This is a good poem. Your hair is winter fire, January embers, my heart burns there too. Like shit. Okay, Ben. Yeah, but if a guy wrote me that, damn.
You were 13.
Oh my god, it's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I love how so many Stephen King books got adapted in the 80s and 90s and were terrible for the most part. And then, like, in the 2010s, they were like, okay, round two. Again, but better.
Like, we can fix this.
This is gross. This part.
Mm-hmm.
I would lose it. I'll float down here.
Why would you move in closer?
Yeah, no way in hell. I would be concerned I was like becoming schizophrenic.
Yeah.
That would be my go-to, honestly. With my mental state as it is, that would be where I jumped. I love this cliche shot in all movies ever of the dad, just like the parent passed out in front of a buzzing TV. I don't even get this. Like, okay, pipes curve, so like, I would just leave the bathroom and not worry about it, honestly. I feel like that has nothing to do with me.
I'd be like, I'll use the bathroom at school.
I'd be like, that's disgusting.
Ew.
I would drop it. I would be out. What was this, Cousin It? Jesus. Yeah, the teenage girl gets tied up with her horror thing. Like, get it? It's her hair. And her period coming to kill her. Her womanhood is coming to kill her in this world for men. There's so many layers.
That is a cool shot, though.
It is, yeah. That'll carry up in this bitch. That must have been such a bitch to film, though, like as the actress.
How many times do you think they made her do this?
I'm sure too many. It's Hollywood. I mean, they could only get the shot of it erupting, like really because once she looks like that, you can't be like having her clean up and dry off over and over again. That would freak me the fuck out, though. No one else could see it. It'd worry me. I'd be like, I'm fucking worried too, Dad. Like, he's like, and I'm a pedophile, but I'm not gay, so.
No, I'm not into that choice.
Gross. Because what is a girl character without trauma? Boring. Everyone knows that. It's writing 101, actually.
Why girl if not have trauma?
Also, the fact that like all the boys are obsessed with her now. They're like, we've actually never seen a girl, so this is a big day. I think this movie's really slow. Like when it's scary, scary, quote unquote, like there's solid scares, but it's like there's so much time in between them. They're like, hey, reminder, they're kids and it's summer. And it's like, thanks. Could you get back to the horror? Is the book slow?
Yes, it's over 1,000 pages.
I don't know. Maybe they really kept moving.
No, we spent a lot of time with the kids.
They're like, care about them.
Yeah, that's the idea.
I care about Beverly and Eddie. I kind of care about that.
I care about Mike. I wish he would come around more.
Yeah. I just like really care about Eddie.
A little too much. I think it's a problem.
You know, and then he dies in the next one. Spoiler. Bury your gaze, you know, it's a horror movie.
I hope somebody's enjoying us watching this. And not just like, oh my god, did these girls ever shut up?
I mean, but if they're not watching it for the commentary, what are they watching it? To watch us sit here silently, me in clown makeup? Like, I don't. Like, we're providing something.
Mm-hmm. This is a service, everyone.
And it's free. Like, you're welcome. I mean, it's the way that like people live stream playing games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I follow this voice teacher on YouTube who live streams herself like reacting to musicals. Like she did the guy who didn't like musicals.
Mm-hmm.
It was solid. I watched it. I mean, I imagine you wouldn't watch our stream if you hadn't seen it. That would be a weird choice.
Maybe they're too scared to see it, so they have to watch it with us.
Yeah, you're welcome, guys. We're here if you're too afraid.
We're just here to cut the tension.
We're here to keep things light.
Because you know how scary movies are scarier if you have to watch them by yourself?
Yeah, or just if everyone's quiet and taking it really seriously. That's why when my brother and I watched Poughkeepsie tapes, we just made jokes that were in completely poor taste the whole time so we could like really not succumb to the horror.
Mm-hmm.
I bet this scene was fun for the kid playing Georgie to just like scream maniacally like this.
Oh, for sure. And he definitely got like candy or ice cream or something afterwards too.
No, don't do it. Shut the fuck up, Georgie. Do you think Pennywise has feelings?
Yeah.
Because he's not really a clown, right? That's just,
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Is this your
This
favorite?
is my favorite Pennywise scene.
Was where he did that?
It's just sliding. I don't know why, but it's so funny.
We're not at my favorite part yet. Well, I like the fridge, but I also like where he like waves with the severed hand when they're at the river. I think that part's fun. Do you think Pennywise has ever had friends?
Yes. The turtle.
Oh, right. Well, because he's not really a clown, right? That's just how he appears.
Mm-hmm. He's like some cosmic bullshit being thing.
Right. Of course. Richie, that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bird. Which character from the Losers Club do you identify with the most?
Probably Ben.
Nice.
Obviously, you identify with Eddie, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I would think I'm not that obnoxious, but I'm there. I'm paranoid and anxious as hell, so yeah. Actually, I just really identify with Pennywise. I just feel really seen. I think he's a gay icon.
Why do we have to claim the Babadook? We should like take Pennywise.
Right? Instead. Like why like he's a clown, motherfucker. Like that he's so gay. Pennywise said,
can you imagine Rainbow Pennywise? That would be beautiful.
He said gay rights before anybody else. And that's great. Oh, love this cleaning montage.
Satisfying.
We really needed it. It really drove the plot. Oh yeah, mop that floor.
Mm-hmm.
This has already gone on for too long, this cleaning sequence.
I'm getting your text late, so I just got a texting like I sent the Zoom link.
Thank God.
I know.
We have to make a different call to do the recording.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we're going to also record the whole podcast in this stream. Ben's just creeping now. Ben's like, but I wrote you that bomb ass poem. I helped you clean your
How you repay me.
I help you clean your bathroom. Even if it was, who fucking cares? I remember like hearing rumors like that about girls, and I was like, we're in the 8th grade.
Mm-hmm. Like, why are y'all so bored? They have to make up these rumors. Wow, Beverly.
It doesn't even make sense that she assumed he wrote it. Like,
Clearly some bias going on here, Beverly.
she's like, that's who I wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm. I don't even understand why, because it's not like he's the best looking kid out of the bunch anyway.
In part 2, it's like, it's so funny to me when like Ben says he loves her because he's like drowning in dirt or something, and he's just, I don't even remember it. He's like, Beverly, I love you, and she somehow like hears it from where she is, and she's like, Ben, and you're like, oh, beautiful. This is like in Pretty Little Liars when they're like, I've also been getting texts from A.
Mm-hmm.
I've also been getting sent creepy hallucinations from Pennywise. Was this inspired by John Wayne Gacy, or is it coincidence?
I don't know. Probably.
Do you think this movie like caused clown phobias? Like, do you think people had clown phobias before this book and movie?
It definitely popularized it for sure.
Let's just leave our bikes in the middle of the street.
Mm-hmm. He's the only one with a kickstand.
I just don't think they chose to use them. Right here.
Hop in anytime you want, Pennywise.
Yeah, like, why don't you kill these guys? Like, I know you already killed one of them, but can you imagine if Pennywise just jumped out the bushes to help? Like, seriously, are you gonna kill him? Like, that's the plan? Ew.
Again, 7 children. Do we really need 7 children in this posse?
Fuck yeah, Ben.
Go off, Ben.
Go off, Ben. This is a good scene. I like this one. This is so dangerous.
I know.
Like, they could kill each other.
Yeah. Eddie's getting into it.
I love when he gets slow-mo like that for no reason. You turn around and Pennywise is like Buddy the Elf. He's just like... And he was like, I'll fucking kill you. This movie is so long, and for what?
Mm-hmm.
Iconic.
Mm. It's so long because we had to make room for all of his one-liners.
It's longer than his wang, you know? I love these iconic shots of them walking in a line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the way people walk with one another.
Mm-hmm. Uniformly marching.
There's clearly no room to be next to one another. America.
Disgusting.
Homophobic.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even like put it in a new spot. They're just like, all right.
This wasn't that long ago. Like, they could print it in color.
This town was cheap. Yeah, but there's just like so many people going missing here that they're like, it's a lot of ink.
Well, I see Betty Ribson's parents really didn't care about her.
I love that Ben's purpose is to be an encyclopedia.
Somebody's gotta be.
Is there like a significance to that number, or you think he just like picked it?
Probably.
I'm gonna Google it. But we all saw a clown.
Now Mike's here to be a plot device.
Mike's here to be the one black person. That's his purpose. Just like Beverly's the one girl.
Mm-hmm. I just want to let you know that these kids are not racist, okay?
Stanley's Jewish. Like, they're not anti-Semitic. And those two kids might be gay. Look at them. So diverse. This kid cannot act either. It's like there are good child actors out there. Like the kid being Eddie is good. The girl being Beverly is good.
The kid being Mike is good too. He could be Jewish. Why not switch him?
He could be black and Jewish. Who fucking cares? No, like that's one of the reasons I think the Harry Potter movies hold up is they got kids who were such good actors. Stanley and Billy are like the fucking weakest. Like these motherfuckers can't act. I'm really out here just insulting children. I'm like, be better at your job. They got paid more than me to do this dumb fucking movie. Like, come on, deliver.
Pay your dues. Come be in a theater but better virtual production.
Because you know, turfs on Twitter seem to think we got paid.
I know.
I was like, I don't think you guys understand how theater works. Number 27 in numerology symbolizes compassion and philanthropy. This number,
yeah, I'm sure that's it.
This number is a combination of energies. The people who resonate with this number are tolerant, kind-hearted, intelligent, team workers, and working to enhance humanity. Maybe that's because like these kids are like that. Maybe I'm reaching and he picked a number at random.
Oh, this is a good scene too.
Oh, where he like comes out of the picture or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think honestly, because I'd say Bill is the worst actor, it makes them look worse as a whole since he's like the main character of this ensemble.
Mm.
Oh, that's the title. I think back to your book trailer, it's like it, but what is it? It's just it. It's an
I'll link
alien.
that below.
Well, then why do you say alien? Because that movie has already been made. Oh, here we go.
We're about to go all sinister in this bitch.
I know, right? It just turns into a snuff film. When your mom turns into Pennywise. Awkward. Surprise, bitch. Those two are the best. They're the funniest when they're together. He just fucking kicks. Turn it off. Hey, guess what? Still on.
How about just run away?
They're like, we need to bear witness. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked up.
It really is.
I don't know why I'm laughing, but it just seems so funny to me. They're like, oh, thank God, we opened the garage door and it's gone. I wonder if every 27 years Pennywise like picks a group of kids and he's like, you guys, you're the one true thing.
Yeah, this is what we're gonna focus on. I think it's just that it like he tries to kill as many as he can, but like.
But he's really dragging it out with them.
He really is. He's invested.
Like he could have killed them all already.
Mm-hmm. He really could have.
Oh, like he's obsessed with them. Do you think if they had like offered to be his friend, he would have stopped?
No.
Rough. I feel like they should have tried that though, just to see.
I mean, he sort of takes over the bully and then has him killing people for him. That's probably what would happen if they did.
True. Would you hang out with Pennywise? Like if you knew he wasn't going to kill you, like would you just hang out?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
pick his brain, you know? You might as well.
I just think he'd be fun to vibe with.
Mm-hmm.
Just like watch TV.
You know, it's not every day that you just get to hang out with a cosmic being.
I also just like love clowns, so like.
You know, just like ask him to turn into different things for you.
God, this kid's bad at acting.
Wow, way to call his passion stupid.
I thought you missed him, Jesus.
How dare you miss him, my child.
You selfish fuck. Think of the family.
That's not how stutters work.
It's really not. Why is this house here? Like, why hasn't anyone torn it down?
Some sort of bylaws.
It's where Pennywise lives.
Yeah. He's a taxpayer.
You just take his home. I love what he's done with the place.
Honestly, it's a vibe.
The ambiance.
I'd hang out in there.
And he's an interior designer. Like, is there anything he can't do?
Wow. Eat these children, apparently.
Do you think there's your name Pennywise fan fiction?
I hope so.
If there isn't, I'll write it.
Okay, good.
And it's just like a pointless, plotless fic, like a one-shot. You just like go hang out with him.
I feel like we need that.
Do you think there's people who like think Pennywise is hot? Probably.
Definitely. Are you one of those people?
I don't think so.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past you.
I mean, I've definitely seen clowns where I'm like, oh, they're handsome. I think the forehead is too much.
That's fair.
Maybe if it was less.
Maybe if we get some of those like Pride Pennywise makeovers.
Like the classic Pennywise kind of handsome because it's Tim Curry and he just like looks like a like classic like clown.
Sure.
Like with this Pennywise, they went with like the old timey like 1800s clown vibe.
This is in the book. It's fucked.
This is?
Yeah.
I don't remember this part. Is she getting eaten alive? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
You know that plush Beetlejuice I have back there? They make one that's Pennywise.
Oh, you gotta get him a friend.
They're called horror huggables.
Oh, I love that.
They also have Jason and Freddy.
The gang's all here.
I think they have one more. Let me look. Who else do they have?
If they have Chucky, I'm buying it.
I don't know if it. Let me see. It would help if I spelled horror right. Wow. Oh, they now have Annabelle.
What's with the weird, like, spindly hands?
I know, it's weird. Yeah, they have Pennywise, Beetlejuice, Annabelle, Jason, and Freddy. Pennywise is so fucking cute. Ugh, it's out of stock. Everyone was getting ready for Clown Week.
Yeah. Happy International Clown Week to those who are watching this.
Yeah, to those who celebrate. I'm one of them.
Clearly.
I wish there was like a circus I could hit up. I love a good circus. I love that they just had these kids say the F word as much as they could. They're like, we got an R rating, go for it.
Yeah, as many as you want. Go for it, kid.
It just dropped. They weren't even scripted. He was like pulling an Austin, just putting them in wherever.
I like how the stream is full of like inside jokes that nobody else is gonna understand.
They're like, who the fuck is Austin?
Love that for us.
Love that. Look at all those clowns. So cute.
Oh.
That one's cute.
How many of those would you take home?
I can't see all of them clear. I didn't like that one I just showed. I've always thought the clown in Poltergeist is really cute. That clown doll. This one's nice. This one he's looking at right now. Very classic. The one behind him is pretty cute. Oh, that one on the left, I just realized that's like the classic Pennywise design from the first movie. I like the Scottish one over there. Yeah, that one's nice.
The
I
diversity.
have this clown mobile from when I was a kid. Like it can't hang up here since my ceilings are like tilted, so it's downstairs, but it looks pretty rad.
Mm.
I was friends with this girl once though who was like had a phobia of clowns, so I always had to like cover up my clown stuff when she came over. That's disgusting. Ew. Ew. I like how he's just like, no, thank you.
What a power pose.
Yeah, I think if his forehead wasn't like that, I'd find him handsome.
Mm-hmm.
Ew. 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 Okay. Disgusting. I don't need all that.
Again, though, I bet the kids had fun with this.
Oh, I know. Like this whole segment must have been a time. This is my favorite Pennywise part right here. There's just so many good ones. I love this part. This is great. I just love in horror anything when like a hand comes around a door like that. It just looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Pennywise the contortionist. The music, amazing. Oh, and then he like love it. I mean, I think a big part of it is Bill Skarsgård is so hot to me. And this is just Bill Skarsgård. I know, I love the way he's like he's like doing a little show. I love that these are scenes that other people are so horrified by, and we're like, this is so fun. Look at him go. He's so passionate. He's living his best life. Apparently, Bill Skarsgård felt really bad about this afterwards because the actor being Eddie is so good that Bill Skarsgård felt so bad. He said like while he was doing it, he felt horrible, and then when they were done, the actor being Eddie just like immediately snapped out of it. It was like, "Great job, man. That was really good." And Bill Skarsgård was like, "Not okay." Like,
well, it
Bill
must be
Skarsgård.
hard being like the only adult acting against all these children and like having to be like super intense the whole time.
Yeah, and you're acting in like a horrifying. Yeah, like you don't know how far is too far to go.
Mm-hmm.
I think the more afraid they are, the better they taste, and that's why he takes so long with some kids.
Mm-hmm. Hush.
I thought what we had was special. Wow. Forgot about that. I haven't seen this in a few years. I love that he's wearing like a corseted top.
To look.
The whole thing's a vibe, honestly. So much drooling. I think it takes a lot as an actor. Like obviously they're acting to a lot that isn't physically like happening. But that he's able to act knowing that like 90% of what we, the audience, are going to see is not on him at that moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we saw Space Jam the other day, I was like, I mean, props. LeBron James is acting opposite absolutely nothing for 90% of that movie. Like
he carried that movie.
He literally did. No, he was great. You got fucking touch me. Doesn't it like turn out that his mom's like full of shit, that he like wasn't sick at all?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like, what is it? Endler's Danler's. What is it called? That's not it. That is a child, ma'am.
Yeah, seriously.
There's still so much of this movie to go.
Ugh.
Oh, apparently this movie was released exactly 27 years after the original 1990 television miniseries.
I did know that.
I'm on Amazon Prime. When I move the mouse, I get all this like trivia on the side.
Oh.
It's fancy. That's what those $4 I spent got me. Where are you watching this?
HBO Max.
Nice.
So you think?
I mean, he is. Wow, apparently that scene with the fridge was the first one that Jack Dylan Grazer, who's playing Eddie, did with Bill. That was the first scene they did together.
Wow.
And he was the first kid that Bill worked with. Well, and I knew this already. They kept Bill Skarsgård in his makeup like away from the kids until they had filmed scenes with him because they wanted them to be like genuinely surprised by how he looked. Which like I think stuff like that's kind of stupid. Like they're actors. Like they do that in movies all the time where they're like,
yeah, but still, like.
No, it's an interesting choice to do that.
It's always going to be better when you have a little bit of genuine reaction mixed in there.
That's true.
We need to speed things along.
What, in the movie?
Yeah. Like, I'm done. Like, that was the finale right there.
I know. Well, like I watched this. My brother and I were like rewatching it before the second one came out, and I was like, "This is so boring on rewatch." And he was like, "Yeah." And then he was like, I said, "Do you want to finish this tomorrow?" Because we were watching it late at night. And he was like, "Well, isn't it almost over?" And it was like at this part. And I was like, "No, there's 40 minutes left." And he went, "What?" The pacing is trash. Like,
To be fair, it's like that in the book too.
well, guess what? We didn't have to be accurate in every way.
It's that opening scene though.
Oh wow, he really gonna try and shoot a cat? Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, like I said, psychopath.
Do you ever watch God, what is that? What was it called? It was a like mini documentary series about this like psycho who like killed cats on Facebook. Like he did videos and people trying to find him. I don't know why I can't remember what it's called now. In the comments, if you remember what that cat killer documentary was called,
Let us know.
Sound off. Sound off. Like this is always so dumb. Like, are we supposed to feel sorry for him?
Yeah, seriously. Like, oh, my dad was mean to me, so I'm gonna murder black children.
That's like being mean to you because you're trying to fucking kill an animal. Like,
my life is so hard. I'm white and I have a mullet.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you're like maiming children.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with cats. That's what it was called.
I agree with that sentiment.
like, bitch, can you fuck off? Like, write something mean, right? Imagine that being your personality.
Imagine being that close to somebody without a mask.
I mean, yeah, like you don't know if she's vaccinated.
Probably not with that attitude.
I was really risky the other day. I didn't wear a mask in Barnes and Noble.
Mm.
It was like deserted, and I know the staff has to be vaccinated. They were required, and I was on a date with someone who's vaccinated. And I am vaccinated, to clarify to everyone at home. We're vaccinated up in this podcast. Which one did you get?
Moderna.
That Dolly Parton swag.
Mm-hmm.
Especially good since Pfizer turned out to be homophobic.
Right?
My massage therapist did that.
Choice for us.
I told her, I was like, yeah, did you know Pfizer gave all this money to anti-gay organizations? She was like, are you kidding me? I was like, no.
See, we knew Dolly would never lead us astray.
Exactly. This guy needs to get it together. Yeah, you in no way need to see part 2. I think it's even worse than this one.
I'll just let my 7-year-old book memories live them.
It's just, I remember like when I tried to watch part 2 of the original miniseries, I saw this tweet later that was like, chapter 2 is like trying to watch a 2-hour-long Olive Garden commercial. Like they were like, that's how exciting it is. Okay. It's amazing that anyone showed up to set and could take this stuff seriously. Dad's like so calm and collected about this. Like, you just got stabbed in the jugular.
He's like, this fucking shit.
He's like, are you kidding me right now? It's like, I've had a long day at work. Honestly, a lot, like, no one wants to hear this, but a lot of the times the faces that Bill Skarsgård has chosen to make for Pennywise look like orgasm faces. And
don't put that in my head, Molly.
They are. That's what they When we saw Space Jam the other day, I made a comment that like this one character looked like they were having an orgasm when they did something, and my sister's friend who went with us said the same thing at the same time, and my sister was sitting in between us, and she was like, what is wrong with you two? She was like, this is a children's film. She's wearing the same dress she's been wearing the whole movie. It's one of her 2 outfits. Imagine like just as an actor playing a role like that. Like obviously, yeah, he doesn't do anything on screen, but we know.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that messed with her?
The actress playing the girl.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would depend on how the actor playing the dad acts between scenes.
Mm-hmm.
From what I understand from just like actors I've spoken to in real life and just researching about any kind of movie that has anything to do with sexual assault, it all just really depends on how the actors act around each other when they're not doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I dated a guy who was in a stage show where he had to like his character attempts to sexually assault a woman, like attempts to rape her, and he said like he hated it and that like the actress who did it hated it. He tried to just like give her space after the scene because he knew like how upsetting it was for her. I mean, I think it's fucked up to even do it.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, like this, I don't think this is necessary to show this on screen.
No, we don't need it.
Like, we get it. That's a child actress. I mean, it's fucked up to expect actors to do this in general.
Yeah, seriously.
And like this isn't even that graphic by like how graphic things get in some stuff. Like I made the mistake of being a fan of Outlander. That's something you don't come back from. No, I remember learning about like in 12 Years a Slave, there's like a really graphic, I don't like rape scene between Michael Fassbender and Lupita Nyong'o. And like afterwards, she said she felt really traumatized, and he said he felt like horrible because he knew that she was so traumatized and everything. And it's like it's just fucked up on both ends, expecting people to do it. I would hope this actor like was nice to her. She's a fucking child, like.
Yeah, I hope so.
And that's the thing. Who knows? That's another thing. She's just acting only opposite men this whole movie. Like that's a lot too.
Mhm. This movie does not pass the Bechdel test.
I actually Googled that before we did, and yeah, it's like people were debating it on Reddit because the only time that two girls spoke to each other was in the beginning in the bathroom when like the one girl was insulting Beverly, but she was insulting her about fucking a lot of guys. So no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I wrote a lot of notes for this, and like basically for feminist facts, my consensus was it's not. I looked it up. I couldn't really find any sources of any women being like a big part behind the camera on this either.
Well, I did no research at all, so we're gonna have to take an intermission after this.
You're like, I don't know how the fuck this movie was made.
I've been in a car for 7 hours.
Where were you?
I was in El Paso.
Why? Like El
Because
Paso,
my mom.
Texas?
Yeah, it's a long story. They don't need to know.
I was just on the couch working. When you see if you ever do watch part two, they try to like do these flashbacks to insert all this like adolescent sexual tension between Richie and Eddie. Like
Mm.
be like they're gay in the present, and it's sad and
We're proactively gay.
like it's like obviously like yeah they're closer than the rest in this but like they really wanted to like push like yeah, but they still never actually come out and say it. And like when Pennywise is like trying to like harp on like adult Richie's fears, he's like, you're afraid people will know you're gay. Like that's basically what he's doing. He's like, you're afraid people will know the truth about you. It's like, and Pennywise is like, you can come out, man, I'm here for you, I'm an ally.
I'm officiating Pride this year, actually. This
What
way to Dairy Pride.
what is the term for parents who like pretend their kids are sick?
I don't know.
But you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
See, this is what it's like watching a movie with someone with ADHD. I gotta like Google every goddamn thing because I can't just sit here not knowing.
This is why you have notes and I do not.
I have notes for fucking everything I ever do. I'm like, hey guys. Like whenever I go grocery shopping, they're the most detailed lists ever. So I'm like, we gotta be fucking prepared. I love this like epic music. They're like, let's go take down this clown. It is called Munchausen symptom by proxy.
Mm.
He's like, fuck this fanny pack. That was the entire queer coding of his characters. He had a fanny pack. They were like, the gays will know.
Should have known.
I mean, when you think about it, a lot of horror movies are just like, whether or not the writers meant it to or not, there's just so much inherent like queerness in them. Like there's a reason queer people love horror so much, even though it's arguably one of the like worst representative genres for
There's like a whole grant proposal about this.
Oh right, yeah, because it's like horror is like one of the most exclusionatory genres ever, and yet like you meet so many queer people and women who like love horror.
Mm-hmm.
I've met so many fellow mentally ill people who love horror, and it's like even like witches love horror movies, and it's like I love the Conjuring universe. That is the most ignorant fucking take on witchcraft I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Stanley exists to tell you that he's scared.
Yeah.
And then he kills himself later.
Yeah.
We have to be together. And he's like, well, if that's the case, I'm just going to take that out of the equation. Like, see, that's unfortunate because I was planning on not participating in this. Like, you guys seem so hyped. I'm just going to go. It's a great question.
You can tell that we're both bored by how silent we are.
I'm posting something on Instagram. I'm posting something on Instagram about the podcast. I'm posting my pictures of my clown makeup.
Mm.
I'm posting it to my Instagram.
Mm.
Is there an emoji of a clown?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Found it.
Well, if we're social media.
We're doing the socials. Yeah, this movie doesn't need to be as long as it is. Or, like, there don't need to be two parts, like one or the other.
Don't need to be as long, doesn't need to have as many characters.
Arguably doesn't need to exist. Like, that's... Like, out of all the Stephen King stories, I know this is seen as, like, one of the most iconic, but I don't think it's one of the best. That's pretty fucked.
That is. It's a good shot.
That reminds me of, in Jeepers Creepers, when he, like, looks up and the wall's just, like, covered in people.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, really, we had to have the girl get damseled. Like, none of the guys could get... She got damseled while fighting off her sexually abusive father. Like, okay.
Yeah, you know, it'd be like that.
Pennywise said women's rights. Like, I love this part. Because it's so ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Don't miss it. You gotta look.
Okay, hold on.
Where he does this little dance.
Oh, yeah.
Here it comes. This makes the whole movie.
The memes.
Beautiful.
Iconic.
Imagine directing that scene. He's like, well, fuck. Fuck. Ew. Oh my god. It's like, check out these orbs. I am a cosmic being.
Yeah.
Sir, are you okay? Like, I've been trying to contact you about your car's extended warranty. He's like, no, because you're fucking insane.
I don't know what my mom is doing, but
Sir, you need to calm down.
I know, with the racism and the father killing,
It's just a lot for one person to be doing, I gotta say.
the being possessed by a cosmic creature thing.
Yeah, like, tone it down.
You know, pick a struggle.
This is too much. Too many plot threads, like the rest of this movie.
Also, I'm gonna title this episode.
Too many plot threads. If 2020 was a movie.
That's a good one.
It's like, I'm good, guys. Don't you worry.
Like, I got this.
Beverly's vibing.
Beverly's tripping balls, man.
She's having a time. She's out. She's like, this movie's dumb.
She's like, I didn't really want to be here anyway.
It's a paycheck, you know? Like, Stanley, stop being so fucking scared of everything.
God, Stanley.
You think the rest of us aren't freaked out by the cosmic clown? Wow, a painting at your synagogue scared you. Like, move it along. Ew. Oh my god.
That's like straight out of a Junji Ito story.
I forgot all about that. That's like scary stories to tell in the dark. Did you see that movie?
I did not.
It was okay. It couldn't decide what it wanted to be.
That makes sense. Isn't Jack Black in that?
No, that's the house with the clock in its walls, and I actually think that was everything.
Okay.
I actually thought that was really good. Very underrated.
I'll give that one a watch.
You should watch
like
it this Halloween time. We should give it a watch. It's good.
All right, we'll make a list.
Jack Black's and I. Oh, I already started making my list. Don't even worry.
All right.
The spooky time watches. Wendy has reached that point in the movie where she's decided to be annoying. Wendy, stop it.
Show her to the audience.
Yeah, come here, Wendy. How are there 20 minutes?
Off reviews.
How are there 20 minutes? Like, what the fuck else can happen?
Dude, I felt like we hit the finale like an hour ago.
I know. And then they just repeat all this in part 2. They're like, back to the sewers we go. It's also the fact that the way they defeat him in the end of part 2 is just like calling him names. They're just like, you're dumb. You know, I was scary. And then he just like shrinks.
It beats the child orgy though.
I mean, you gotta pick one, I guess.
Cancelled.
No, I was reading a text when I got it. That's why I paused. I was gonna say, I mean, they're both pretty bad options on how to wrap up a film.
Well, Stephen King said it himself. He's not good at endings.
I just can't even imagine just sitting at my computer being like, oh yeah, and typing that out. Wendy, you need to wait because we have 20 minutes left of this masterpiece.
Hold your horses.
She's like, no.
Shut up about the gray water.
I don't know. Water from the drain. Come here, Wendy. Come here. No. She's like, I want to go downstairs. Come here. Come here. She's like, fuck this movie. I need to take her out. Do you want to pause or let it run? What do you want to do?
We can pause. Since this isn't live, I'll just edit this part out.
Okay, so I'll say 1, 2, 3, pause.
All right.
1, 2, 3, pause. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, play. Look how cute she is, though. She's like, I hate this. I hate clowns. I hate this movie. You can't have any of my Hershey bar. I'm sorry. You want an Airhead candy? She's like, fuck no. She took it and then she spit it out on me like, absolutely. Where did it even go? Okay. Probably magic. Got that clown voodoo magic going on. He's like, Beverly, you're the love of my life.
Even though you like Billy, not me.
Oh, right, he kisses her. That is so fucked up. He's like, guys, I thought that would work. I forgot that it did work. It's magic. Oh my god, it's true love. How is this movie still going on? Like, how are we still here? I feel like
How is this only part 1?
I've already forgotten half the plot. Like, we're gonna sit down and do the podcast. What happens? I don't know. Like, it's a blur. I'm gonna need them to need the Wikipedia. It's like, we just did it. I've already forgotten. This is my 3rd time seeing this, and I already forget as we're watching it.
Based on a book that I've read.
I feel like they had to give the actor playing Bill like eye drops to make it look like his eyes are watering because the rest of the performance is so bad. I find it hard to believe that he could also then cry on cue. Like, who is he, Bridget? Like, just starts crying on cue like it's nothing. I fucking wish I could cry on cue.
Bridget stores that resentment.
Just towards everybody in the world. She's like, I was so jealous when we watched her do that, like laugh at her roommates bringing in pasta, and then was like, okay, I'm ready, and turned back to the screen, just started crying on cue again. I was like, I mean, fuck the rest of us, I guess.
We're just missing the emotional crux of the movie.
I don't like it. It's weird. Stop it. Well, my clown picture.
Get it away from me.
Ew. That kid's doing a good job. It could be in Georgie.
Mm-hmm.
He's carrying it. Wow. Imagine just having children film this. Like, my God.
The trauma.
Was it Georgie? No, right?
Of course not.
I don't know. Who knows anymore? Wendy, can you relax? I don't like the movie either.
The sad part is this is one of the better movies we're going to watch this season.
Oh my God, ew. What are we doing next? She banged her head on the desk.
Oh my god.
You okay? Little baby.
She's like, I don't like it.
I don't like it either. It's so bad. It's so boring. I know. Yeah. Anyway, what are we doing next?
I don't remember. I have to look at the list.
I'll look at it. So much of this movie is just like Bill Skarsgård flailing. He's like, "Is this horror? Is this scary for anybody?"
Don't say what we're doing next. The audience doesn't need to know yet.
Oh, okay. It's still bad, but it's old, so it gets an excuse. This is 2017. What's this one's excuse?
At least when they're old, we can laugh at them more.
Yeah, but like this is taking itself seriously.
You know. Come on. No.
It's like, I get that Pennywise kills children, but in part two, he does kill some adults, so that makes no sense. And then, like, the fact that, like, they just low-key gave him, like, pedophile vibes for the second half of the movie. Like, he was just, like, a nightmare creature, and then I was like, actually, he also wants to touch kids. And it's like, did we need that? I would argue no, but yeah, that's just me. It's just the raging feminist take, I gotta say.
Are you a horror movie director, Molly?
Where are your awards? Again, Pennywise could have like eaten them all by now. Like, what is this? What are we doing?
This is true.
Just go. There's still 15 minutes. I honestly don't remember how this ends, like how they get out of this situation.
Me either.
I remember when they all go like stand in the grass and make a blood pact instead of having sex.
Mm-hmm.
Pennywise is like, "Are you okay?" I love that line. Now I'm gonna have to kill this fucking clown. Let's go.
Get him.
I do love that Richie's played by Bill Hader in part two. That is probably my favorite casting in part two.
That's a good choice.
Also, the guy that gets to play adult Eddie in part two looks exactly like the kid. Like, it's crazy how identical they got him. My knife earring keeps getting caught on my hoodie here. I thought this would be appropriate. They're like little knives covered in blood.
Always appropriate.
I thought so. Or does he just fucking like, ew, it's disgusting. Now they're just like all CGI all the time. How can he not fight back against this? I thought he could just like fucking grow in size and shit.
Yeah, something about them not being afraid anymore.
Yeah, I guess like the fear is what gives him strength, and now they're just pissed. Ew. Yeah, was that supposed to work? Like, sometimes the way Pennywise talks reminds me of Jeff Blim.
I can see it.
What is that face? What? Why would you say that to me? Especially during Clown Week. Oh my god. That's so hateful. A homophobia.
What is the phobia of clowns called?
Look it up.
Just die already, bro.
Cholorophobia.
Mm.
Cholero coming from the ancient Greek word for one who goes on stilts.
Mm.
Symptoms of cholorophobia can include sweating, nausea, feelings of dread, fast heartbeat, crying or screaming, and anger. Do you have any phobias?
Yeah, I think so.
I have thalassophobia. I'm afraid of the ocean.
Mm.
The other kid's kiss woke you up. What the hell? What a hoe. What a hoe. Beverly is. Damn. That's so gross.
Yeah.
This mountain of kid bodies.
Traumatizing.
It really is. Like, these kids all needed therapy.
Oh, too bad it's the 80s and they're not going to get it.
And then they're like, well, let's never talk about this again. Like, sounds good. I gotta put Wendy on her chair. You don't have to pause it. I can see it. Wendy, come here. Yay.
Group hug.
Bring it in, guys.
Nice wholesome ending.
I guess the adventure was the friends we made along the way.
All 7 of them.
Too many. How are they like already forgetting? So in the book, this is where they fuck.
No.
When do they have sex in the book?
I feel like you don't find out how they defeated him until like at the end. There's like a flashback.
And then they have sex?
And then he reveals like that's how they stopped him.
Was having sex? Wait! What?
It was like part of this ritual.
Hold up. I thought it was just like how they sealed their friendship or something at the end.
No, I don't think so.
They defeat him by fucking each other? Wow.
I could be wrong. I was 7 the last time.
I'm gonna have to do some Googles. Here we go. In movies, how everyone cuts their hand open like it's nothing.
Now you're gonna put some alcohol on that shit.
Also, it's the 80s. You guys are gonna rub bloody hands together.
They were just talking about AIDS like 5 minutes ago.
I know, and now they're like, all right, well, just like,
blood pack.
We've been concerned about germs the whole film, but again, like slitting your palm in movies, everyone does it like it's nothing. Like you could hit like a tendon or something.
Yeah, you probably don't have a scar.
I think they do end up having scars.
Ew.
That's disgusting. I would never do that. I would also never have sex to defeat a clown. At least not with like a group in a sewer. The circumstances were different, then I don't know. But in the exact circumstances of this story, no.
That's not fair. She just gonna bleed all over his calf.
You know, I think they have bigger concerns.
There's not an equal distribution of blood.
Well, now that that's done, I'm like, all right, guys, bye.
All in a day's work.
Now that we've those two are gay. Get it? They hugged first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, love triangle.
Nothing hetero about it.
They're like, Ben, can you leave? Just putting away my candy. Now that the film is finally ending. So beautiful. That's true love right there.
Wow, Beverly. What about the kiss and the poem and everything?
She really said fuck Ben.
She really did.
Until part 2, which is...
She was like, he's fat and weird.
He likes New Kids on the Block. I can't with that, so... Poor Ben.
Just
Don't worry. He gets it in part 2.
Mm-hmm.
He's like...
You have your eyes open.
What?
So why do you have your eyes open?
He's never kissed before.
It's because he's gay.
They all are, actually. That's the real twist of part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Stephen King really said adolescent reverse harem.
Yeah.
Are we done? Thank God.
Oh, that was too long.
Wow, that was just as boring as I remember it being.
There better not fucking be an end credits.
Oh, I already closed it. So if there is...
Let me just scroll through real quick.
And just check. If there is, I've never seen it because I've never sat through the credits on that.
That doesn't look like there is.
I hate that Marvel normalized end credit scenes
I
that
know.
much that now we have to check. Like while we were at Space Jam, my sister was like, check, see if there's end credits.
Oh, God bless the people at my local movie theater, because when you go into the movie, they tell you if there's an end credit scene.
Okay, so we'll stop this stream. We'll get a different call that you can start for the actual podcast. Well, thanks everyone.
Yeah. Look forward to the podcast episode discussing It, Chapter 1, the 2017 version, which we just watched. You watched us watch it.
Maybe you watched it too. Who knows?
And, the episode will be coming out this Friday if everything goes according to plan. So,
all right.
have fun with that.
Bye.
Bye.